Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jules, and I'm designing a theme park based on United States folklore called Urban Legends America Theme Park. But today, for the Halloween season, I wanted to do something a little different. The Headless Horseman is one of my favorite literary characters, especially as we get into Halloween and autumn and all the cozy type of season. I love him. I love the way he's written and the way that we can see different iterations of him in movies and short stories and basically how other people depict him. He's perfectly spooky and mysterious. It's definitely the perfect short story to get you in the mood for autumn and just like the world slowing down and Halloween and getting you into that cozy season. I actually did an abridged reading of it, and I'll link the video somewhere in this area of the video. Today, I wanted to do a DIY paper puppet type of decoration of the Headless Horseman as we close out October and getting into November. So come with me and let's tackle this decoration together. Let's go. Okay, so here's the plan. I got poster board that is 18 by 24. And that is the general size that I want to be using because I want to avoid seams as much as possible. So yes, I will be printing out a stencil on a regular standard paper size, but and you'll see that. But those are the only times that I will be taking seams. I'm going to be putting it in an Illustrator file so that I know exactly like how much things are being sized up or sized down. I'm thinking of this in layers because again, it is a paper puppet. Um I'm using these as a guide and an inspiration. It's very much going to closely resemble this one, just because I really like the texture that it gives. And the pose is really, really easy to follow. And I like the way that it's broken down. So the torso of the horse is going to be the biggest part. So I'm going to size that up to the 18 by 24 poster board and try to avoid seams as much as possible. I'm thinking of the layers in terms of the torso, then the second part of limbs. So again, so it's like torso of the horse, then the second parts of the limbs of the horse along with the tail, also the torso of the horseman, and then the third layer is any um, extra bits, so like the skull of the horse, hooves, and like his arms and stuff. So there would probably be like 4 layers in total. Stylized wise, I do have inspiration pieces, but we'll play it by ear. Once you get into it, you kind of like get lost in the sauce. So we'll see how things go. And yeah, I'll show you my process. Let's go. So basically, to get to this point, I took an Illustrator file and started with the artboards at 18 by 24. And I used one of the inspiration pictures to break down the pieces. And then when I had those pieces all kind of figured out, see how they're like different colors? This was my way of breaking it down in terms of the layers. So once I had them in those 18 by 24 pieces or artboards, I sized down the artboards again to 8.5 by 11, which is a standard paper size, and I just printed those out, and then I taped the seams together and then added them to the poster board. That way I didn't have any seams when I was actually cutting out the pieces. And then after I taped everything, I laid them out on the board, and then now I'm going in and cutting them out with a box cutter and an X-Acto knife. And then later on, it took a while to do this. After I did this middle piece, I knew it was going to take me a while to use the X-Acto knife. So I changed over to scissors, and then any smaller areas I went back in with the X-Acto knife in order to get everything the way that I needed it to. Now I'm just going in with my pencil and kind of just mapping out the details of stuff that I want on there, and also like pieces that would overlap, like the leg in the horseman's torso. I needed to make sure that I was putting the torso where it was supposed to be. And now I'm putting in the holes and the brads to put all the limbs together. And I go back and forth a lot with this. Like, I'm basically just trying to see if they actually like work and move together, and that I got the right pieces to make sure it all works out. Okay, so here I'm finding out that I actually mixed up some of the stencils. So when I was originally making the stencils, when it came to like some of the limbs for the horse and the arms for the horseman, I made only one version so that I knew that I would make because it's basically the same, I would make a duplicate of it. So I actually got the legs of the horse and the arms of the horseman mixed up, and realized that I actually had to make another pair, so that one was actually for one of the legs for the horse, and then the other one was actually for the arm of the horseman. And yeah, so I just basically used what I had, more poster board on hand, and made that stencil, or like made the cutout quickly. And then now I'm going back and going in with pencil to, you know, see how everything lines up and where I want everything, more details, so on and so forth. When I was kiting everything out, I made sure that I left the glossy side of the poster board down. And then I went in with a base layer of paint. So it starts off really streaky, but I think I did maybe 2 coats for every piece. Again, I knew that I was going in with colored pencil and more paint for details, so I tried to, you know, pack on what I could, make sure everything was blocked off where I needed it to, and I really wasn't super concerned of making this too clean, because I knew I would go back in and fix some things with either more paint or colored pencil. So once everything was covered and dried, I went in with colored pencil. I wanted to show the process with this hand for the horseman, because the pumpkin and some of the fire pieces were the only pieces that had different colored pencils that I used, because the rest I basically just used that white pencil and the black pencil to give texture to everything. And other than that, like, I was using the orange and the yellow and the red for the pumpkin and some of the flames. And then after that, again, I just use that white pencil to just give that texture to the rest of the body, especially for the horse, since the horse was the biggest thing compared to the horseman. And now, finally, when everything is dried and I put a clear coat of a fix-it spray over everything, now I'm going in with the brads and putting everything together, with some help from my wonderful friend. And yeah, we're just putting these pieces together. Yeah. Anyway, final thoughts. This was very much out of my comfort zone. This was a lot. It definitely was a lot. But it was nice to kind of break out from what I usually do. But just like the feeling of like arts and crafts again was a lot of fun. And especially knowing that this is something that I can put up either all year round for myself or be able to kind of wrap them up and have them be ready for next Halloween is just, I like the idea of that. It's more personal when you make something and then you get to keep that forever or for however long it's going to last, because yes, he is made out of paper, but I made sure to do a fix it spray and a setting spray basically all on the pieces. So as much as I knew that the colored pencil wasn't gonna like run or smudge like a regular pencil would, I still wanted to make sure that everything was set, and also it kind of gave this like nice sheen to it. I don't, yeah, it's still there. I do have some missing pieces in here that I wanted to do. Like for the pumpkin, I wanted more like fire effects, like how I have it in the skull. And I also didn't add reins to it just because it was already a lot of work already, and I got lazy. I'm gonna be honest, I got lazy. There were a few pieces that I definitely got lazy. I think my original plan for the pumpkin was I was actually gonna cut out the pieces and I was going to have multiple layers. So I wanted to have a back of the pumpkin with a regular candle that you are able to switch out with like a bigger flame, because these pieces, obviously, they're brads and you can take them out and change and exchange things if you rather something else. So if anything, if I were to do this again or make some changes, I think I wanted to make this piece a little more interactive. If I made him bigger, it would obviously take a much longer time to do, but I think I would want like more embellishments of like fabric and tassels, but he would be a lot heavier if I made him bigger or added those pieces. He's already heavy and he's up with tape right now, multiple pieces of tape. However, it almost defeats the purpose of having the brads and having him posable, because if you decided that one year you didn't want the same position, then you would have to take him on, and now there would be holes everywhere of where you previously had him. So I actually think for his size, I think he's actually a good heft, especially since I did use poster board. All that being said, I think that this, even the pieces that I'm missing, I think it's a massive success. I love the way he looks, and I'm so happy that I have my own type of decoration for me to put up and know that I made it, and that if somebody in my family wants it, I can absolutely give it to them, and it's something to be like passed down and kind of cherished, even though it is paper. So yeah, massive success. I love him so much. I will probably put him in my office and or my room because he's just so fun to look at. But yeah, there we go. Before you go, I just want to say a big thank you to you guys for watching this video, as well as my folklore enthusiasts for supporting me on this crazy journey of building this theme park. Thank you, as always, to the Absinthetic Orchestra for supplying some of my music for my videos. If you like what I'm doing and want to see more of me, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing. I hope you all had a fun and safe Halloween. I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.